At the urban school, we offer a number of different visual art classes, including painting, drawing, printmaking, photography, video, sculpture, and stone carving. On the first day of each class, we give these rules and hints by John Cage to each student and begin a discussion around the idea of being an artist. John Cage is a well-known American composer and a conceptual and visual artist. His ideas serve as a foundation for our teaching philosophy. We encourage our students to consider everything as an experiment, to be self-disciplined, and we look at rule number 10, which outlines a creatively engaged approach to life. Always be around, come or go to everything, always go to classes, read everything you can get your hands on. We ask our students to grapple with the hard work of learning new ways of thinking and working, and beginning the longer process of discovering, unraveling, and expressing their own ideas. Each student receives a sketchbook and works on it inside and outside of class, experimenting with materials, mapping out ideas, and investigating themselves over a period of time, reflecting on their experiences. Some assignments ask them to work for a longer period of time, or to be more spontaneous. Students work each week in a studio environment with mixed grade levels, ages 14 to 18 in the same class. Beginners follow a set curriculum which includes a series of projects and assignments. Advanced students work more independently on more open-ended projects which allow for more individualized self-expression. After periods of creating, we meet to look at the work and discuss it. Students offer each other positive feedback and constructive criticism. We show examples of different artists' work to inspire students both in terms of technique and content. Often students take a technique and then weave it into something that becomes entirely their own. Here are some examples of different student projects, this one being more abstract, exploring different materials. This one was created by erasing charcoal, working from a photograph. We show work by artists who represent a wide diversity of styles and interests. Shazia Sikander often inspires students who are working with more narrative ideas. Students develop their own content, creating their own characters and stories, and smaller pieces evolve into much larger pieces in subsequent classes. This is a large mural project made of drawings created the previous school year. In painting and drawing classes, we also work from observation with a live model. Students are encouraged to explore different materials and to keep a fairly loose approach. Some find they're more comfortable with paint, others prefer pen and ink. One student painted 3 of these very large, 2-meter-tall paintings of all the Spanish teachers over the winter holidays and surprised everyone. Some prefer to work on the computer, depicting their friends. We often show work by local artists who live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and students often work in similar styles to work they see around the city, in the galleries and museums, or out on the streets. Sometimes a student will study a certain artist in great depth and then try to embody some of that person's aesthetic. This student loved Robert Rauschenberg's work, and the influence is apparent. Other students look inward, coming up with their own imagery, and still others are inspired by the urban landscape where they ride their bikes or skateboards. Our photography classes are all digital, though we do have some students shooting with film, and our advanced students create a complete body of work that is exhibited on campus at the end of each class. In all classes, we ask students to take risks, try new things, enter into unfamiliar territories, and possibly get all tangled up in the creative process. In sculpture classes, we work with found and recycled materials. Students use a wide variety of techniques to make their sculptural work. Sometimes the work is representational, and sometimes it is abstract. Students teach themselves new techniques just by looking at other people's work. This student made these wire pieces about her grandparents' relationship. We offer more traditional techniques such as stone carving, where each student gets one stone and works on it for 12 weeks, taking it all the way through to a polished finish. We work with clay, hand building, and this is a clay portrait of one student's grandfather. And we also engage with the amazing culture of San Francisco. We take field trips to artist studios, we go to local galleries and museums, and we have visiting artists who talk with students about their work, their lives, and their inspirations. We have exhibitions in spaces around the city, off campus, and also on campus on the walls of the school. At these openings, we ask our students to stand up and speak about their work, presenting their ideas to the larger audience. And the next 5 slides are images taken over the past 5 years of student installation art taking place in one corner of the school. This is work by a student whose parents are originally from China and have owned a restaurant here in San Francisco for many years. She worked with paper plates and napkins and created some very complex origami structures that hang from the ceiling. Each student's work ends up entirely different than the others. This one you could actually get inside of, and this one had hidden messages. This student studied fashion design and sewed several dresses and created a film that was projected on the wall. And this student is a circus performer, this being his self-portrait. We are very honored that you are hosting an exhibition of our students' artwork. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. It is our hope that this exchange will be the first in an ongoing relationship between the two schools. We look very much forward to learning more about your school, seeing your students' work, and hosting an exhibition of their work here on our campus in San Francisco. We are also interested in what could happen if all the students at both schools work with the same assignment and post images of their work online. May this be the first of many exchanges. Thank you. 谢谢。